Warning: the following presentation may be disturbing or triggering to some viewers. All information on this channel is provided by the local news and is public to all viewers for your own research. Viewer discretion is advised.
Wagwan, everybody. Welcome to our next episode of Talk the Things podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a story that wasn't really recommended to me by this person, but I was looking through. I seen this topic on Instagram. No, it's not Instagram, on TikTok. And then I seen a person that I know. She goes by the name of, we're just going to call her Jules, right? And she has a YouTube channel. She kind of does similar content to mine. And she made a whole video on the same story. So I want to shout her out because I got some information from her about this case. Before I even get into it, I just want to shout her out. But today we're going to be talking about a person I went by the name of Andrew Dacosta. He was 19 years old at the time of this case, and a lot of people that knew him and his friends and stuff called him Freshie. Now, he lived in Brampton, and he lived with his mom and his older sister and his niece. So we're going to call his older sister in this story. We're not going to put her real name, but we're just going to call her Chantel. That's the older sister. And then the niece, we're just going to call Nisi to make it simple. The mom isn't really mentioned in the story, but we're going to remember the sister Chantel and the niece Nisi because they're going to make sense coming along in the story. But people described him as a person that loved basketball, or he loved wearing sports jerseys, and everybody liked him. The people that knew him, he never really had much enemy, and that again is going to make sense to with this case because you're going to wonder why this happened and who did this. So going into the story now, I want to go into the story. On October 19, 2012, late in the evening, right, or about nighttime now, but the news said late in the evening, Chantal came home from work. And when she came home, she came with her niece. I don't know if she picked up the niece from wherever, but she wound up coming home with the niece. And the last time that anybody seen Andrew was by his friends, and it was earlier in the morning, around 10:30 a.m. That was the last time that anybody had seen him. So we don't know how long Chantal and Nisi was in the house when they got home, right? But the niece saw blood on the bathroom door. And that kind of, that would have alarmed them. So I guess she went and she told her mom, yo, there's blood on the bathroom door, something's wrong. So Chantal started to walk and she was following a blood trail. And the blood trail wound up leading to Andrew's room. She opened up the room, and when she went into Andrew's room, the room was destroyed. Drawers and dresser open up, clothes dash out, bed, everything was just mashed up. Like the room looked like it got ransacked, like they were robbed. So what happened was now Chantel wound up going over to her mom's room where the door was closed. And when she opened up the door, she wound up finding Andrew on the ground in a pool of his own blood with a chair on top of him. So that must have been, like what the hell? That was just shocking for them to see. They call the police, they do their whole thing now, and the police come do their investigation. And one of the things that the police was realizing after they were investigating is that the house wasn't broken into. There was no signs of a break-in. Now, you guys remember I said the room looked like it was ransacked, it was mashed up, it was messed up, but that just showed that something looked like it happened, right? But the house wasn't broken into. So this was a person that they knew or that was familiar, is what the police were starting to think. Because if it wasn't broken into, that means that you would have had to be let into. And you don't just let anybody into your house. So this was a person that Andrew must have known. Among his friends, right, gossip started, and a lot of people were talking and was saying that, and said that the person that did this to Andrew was his friend. And we're going to call the friend David. Once again, we're not going to put out the real name. So we're just going to call the friend David. And even though enough of the friends were talking about this, only one of the friends them told the police and kind of tipped the police them off, which made the police go tap David's phone. And the reason why they said that this even happened, right, was that Andrew used to buy weed from David. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody buy weed, everybody smoke weed. It wasn't like it was no big drug dealing thing or go on or nothing like that. It was just they were saying that's who he bought weed from. And they were friends from high school. So there was a clear link between them. And the police wound up tapping David's phone. They got surveillance footage of David on the bus and all these things. And I'm going to explain all you guys that now, because this is where it gets interesting. So after they tapped his phone, right, they had footage of him on the bus going to Andrew's area where he lived, assuming that he went to Andrew's house. And this was all happening around the times where they suspected the murder to have happened. Now they have him, like I said, on surveillance on the bus going there. Then they had surveillance of him leaving that area, and then he went to a next area. He came off the bus in front of, I think they said it was a petrol, or it was, yeah, it was a gas station, like in front of a plaza or something. And they have, the plaza footage of him. They have the gas station footage of him. Then they have his phone records and a receipt where he caught a taxi to pick him up from the gas station and bring him to his house. So all of that, and he was in different clothes comparing to the clothes that he went there. So they're like, okay, he clearly wants to go do this crime. The man went there on the bus, came back in different clothes when he took the bus going to the plaza, and then took the taxi from the plaza and the gas station to his house. Once again in different clothes. So he changed his clothes, and it was clear what he did. And they even put out a picture. I can't find the picture now, but they put out a picture. I'm gonna try to put it in here if I can find it again. And he was wearing gloves and the backpack, and then they said that the backpack was fuller on the way of him coming back, which would have meant that, he went and did what he had to do, and then he changed his clothes and put it in the backpacks, and then so the backpack's full of clothes now. So that's why the backpack would be fuller. They're putting all these pieces together, and they wind up saying, yeah, bro, it was the friend. The friend David is the one that did this to his next friend, Andrew Dacosta. Now there's no direct reason, like I said, like we have. There's speculation that it was over weed or something like that. Like it must have been a confrontation or something, right? But we don't have the exact reason why. And it was 2 years after Andrew died that they ended up putting out the not putting out, but they ended up sentencing the person that they thought did it, which was David, his friend. And then it just became a whole thing of people saying, watch your friends, because look, it's a friend killer, basically. You know what I mean? This was his high school friend, a person that he knew that did this to him. You know what I mean? I did it to him in such a way where, the body was there for 2 to 12 hours before the family found him, which would have meant this he was sitting there for a while. You know what I mean? So this is just, I don't know. You have to let me know your thoughts in this case. It's crazy still because people always talk about your friends, your friends, your friends. We don't know necessarily if these people were best friends, but we knew that they knew each other. We don't know what caused this, but I mean, from what we have, this is everything here in the video. This is what I found from other videos. This is what I found from the news. And I just want you guys to let me know your thoughts on this situation. Rest in peace to Andrew, and we will talk next time on Talk the Things podcast. Yeah, I'm a pretty little Barbie.